Full disclosure, I didn't want to choose this song at first, but then I did because I was intrigued by the idea of being stuck and blaming it on somebody else.
Hello, welcome to Therate. We are not therapy, but we are super fun, and we are going to be diving into Right Where You Left Me from Evermore. And Katie chose this song. Katie, why did you choose this one?
Full disclosure, I didn't want to choose this song at first, but then I did because I was intrigued by the idea of being stuck and blaming it on somebody else.
Interesting. Okay,
And
okay.
honestly, I'm like so interested that like when I take the song kind of non-literally, I find it very relatable. So like how many of us are sitting around ruminating on a situation from years ago? Like we can be mentally paralyzed and we can like have a hard time letting things go. And so I think that the idea of being emotional paralyzed and unable to find perspective or unable to move on from a situation is quite common. And when I like heard the song and I switched that perspective, like a lot of things clicked for me and I felt like I started enjoying the song a lot more. So that's kind of like why I picked it. I had to come around. I had to take the long way around to get there, but I did.
Yeah, yeah, okay. I'm glad you explained that because I remember you were like not really interested in this one.
No, not at first, but then it kind of clicked for a while, but it did take me a little bit of time because I was like I feel like there's something here. I just haven't like found a way for it to like match with how my brain works. So,
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm glad you chose it. I'd love to hear the lyrics you're going to be highlighting.
yeah. Friends break up, friends get married, strangers get born, strangers get buried. Trends change, rumors fly through new skies, but I'm right where you left me. Matches burn after the other, pages turn and stick to the other. Wages earned and lessons learned, but I'm right where you left me. They expected me to find they expected me to find somewhere some perspective, but I sat and stared. You left me no choice but to stay here forever. Did you hear about the girl who lives in delusion? Breakups happen every day. You don't have to lose it. She's still 23 inside her fantasy, and you're sitting in front of me. I cause no harm, mind my business. If our love died young, I can't bear witness, and it's been so long. But if you ever think you got it wrong, I'm right where you left me.
Yeah.
That's the lyrics.
So like the whole thing, right? Like
A good chunk of it, a good chunk of it. I really quite enjoyed analyzing the song because I think it's very cheeky and
uh-huh.
it just there's just a very like there's high drama and like a lot of like self-deprecation that goes into it and I just find that very very funny. So,
Oh, interesting. We thought of this song very differently. I'm excited to
oh,
hear what you have to say.
oh, okay. Yeah. This is so usual for us.
I know, right?
Those such different perspectives. This is literally why we started the podcast.
True, 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 true. What questions would you ask this person?
So I will start my question with an observation. You seem to be mentalizing or rationalizing how over it you should be about this breakup. You go on to say, and then that whole thing I just quoted, like friends break up, friends get married, strangers get born, buried, trends change, rumors fly. So, like, there's almost this sense of like mocking yourself. Like, did you hear about the girl who lives in delusion? Breakups happen every day. You don't have to lose it. Like, could we just pause here and practice some curiosity and non-judgment around your paralysis? Like, I think that my questions would mostly land as like restatements back to this client of like, I don't think I have a direct question. Like, I don't think I'd want to confront it directly. I would just want to do a lot of restating and just observations with them and be like, that's interesting. Oh, that's really interesting. Like, you seem very convinced you should be over it, and yet you are not over it at all. But you keep telling yourself you should be. Let's explore that together. And then final saucy question here. Can I see a picture of this guy? 'Cause, like, I'm not convinced that he ain't mid.
Well, folks, that was our podcast. Thanks for listening.
Who was this guy that has you so paralyzed that you cannot move on? Like,
Katie.
what trance did he put you in? Like, how attractive was he? Honestly, is the delusion the attraction? I kind of want to just make my own call here. Give me the receipts. I want to see.
Oh my word. That's fantastic. I need a minute to recover. Oh, that's so good. Yeah, that was a lot of sass that came with that.
Yeah, I got sass today.
You do, you do. So those are great, great questions. That makes me wonder what you would validate for this person because I'm hearing a lot of like sass and questioning about this person's experience. So tell me what you would validate.
Yeah. I'll come back to the lyric. They expected me to find somewhere some perspective, but I sat and stared. And so, on a more serious note, this song seems to be about unexpected grief and loss. The setting of a restaurant could potentially imply a special occasion or a celebration, or maybe just like a regular night together. And then suddenly everything changes. It's painful, it's life changing. And oftentimes, when grief grabs us unexpectedly, there's a tendency to want to immediately like grab onto meaning, to learn something, to have a takeaway. And I would just want to validate and normalize that, like, sometimes there isn't like a lesson to be learned. Sometimes bad things happen and loss happens, and we don't have to like find perspective right away. Um, there are things that I think we learn through a grief process, but I don't ever think that like bad things happen so that we can learn a lesson. I just think that when bad things happen, upon self-reflection, like sometimes there can be things that we learn from it, but like not cause and effect in that way. And so I would just kind of like validate that like sometimes people do want you to get perspective and just move forward. And it's not that easy and it's not that fast. And like maybe you needed to just sit and stare for a while and just be in that.
Hmm.
Um, and then I also would add that like maybe everyone else can move on and you're watching them and you're thinking, wow, that was really easy for them. But that doesn't mean that it has to be easy or that it will be easy for you. Um, to really be aware of like where you might be comparing yourself when other people might be comparing you and saying like, wow, that's taking you a long time to get over. Especially like if it wasn't quote unquote a long relationship where if somebody can't see like the significance of what that was, I think sometimes we put significance with time, but that's not always the case. And so just to fully be in your grief, and recognize that your process doesn't have to look like other people and you don't have to meet their expectations when you're grieving.
Yeah, I'm so glad you brought up grief. Because this does seem like a sudden thing. And kind of applying it to like the generalized experience. I think that's a really good point. Yeah. Anything that you would challenge about this?
All right. I'm gonna put my sassy pants back on.
I figured.
But if you ever think you got it wrong, I'm right where you left me. Verbatim, what I wrote down was, girl, no! He said he doesn't love you anymore. And you're saying, I'll take you back? Like, sis, sit down. Let's chat, okay? Sit right here next to me. We're gonna have a conversation because I need to understand why. I'm begging you on my knees to help me understand. No, to our listeners, I literally would never approach it this way with a client. But you are hearing a little bit of like an unfiltered Like, why?
This is the most sass I've ever seen you.
This song makes me sassy. I told you I didn't want to do this song,
Podcast
but
or
then I
not
did.
podcast, this is the most sass I have ever seen Katie have.
I just, I just, this song brings it out of me. Like, I just, yeah. Um, you say you left me no choice but to stay here forever. This brings out more sass because whenever I hear someone say something along the lines of so and so made me, I always like immediately pause and explore that because how do
Hmm.
you feel? And you can't feel like you were made to do something. But unless this was like threat, coercion, blackmail, how are you being made to do something? In this situation, who is literally gluing your butt to the chair in the restaurant? Like, I just, you left me no choice. You had no choice. Like, where's your autonomy here? Like, you're straight up blaming this person, and I can't get over it. So we just have a little come to Jesus chat about that part. And I'm not even done. I'm going so hard. I have one more, so buckle up.
I don't know if I can take it.
Ashley's losing it.
Oh, okay, what
You let me know when
what
you're
else?
ready, Ashley.
Oh, okay. What else you got for us, Katie?
The lyrics, I cause no harm, mind my business. If our love died young, I can't bear witness, and it's been so long. Um, First of all, I would just say that you're already bearing witness. You're saying, I can't
Hmm.
look at this. And to some extent, like you talk about being in delusion, and yes, I would validate, I think that is the case. And you have a whole song, babe. You clearly are bearing witness, whether you want to call it that or not. So, let's wake up and smell the coffee beans. you know? And this idea, oh, wait, you were going to say something, Ashley. What is it?
So I'm hearing that you want this person to just get over it, right? Like just let it go.
No, no, not necessarily. I don't necessarily feel like they need to just like quote unquote just get over it. What I do want to challenge is that I feel like I don't necessarily want this person to get over it. I think I just want them to wake up.
Okay.
I think I want them to just one say like, I'm denying this hard reality, and I would just come back and say, I don't think you are. I don't think you're actually in denial. I think you're actually like so in it, you don't want to leave it. You're so like married to this situation, right?
Hmm.
Like, like that whole idea of like, I if our love died young, I can't bear witness. And I'm like, you are bearing witness. Like you already are. By refusing to leave, you're staying in it. So like I could see it from both ways, but I don't think it'd be like I want you to get over it. I think I just want you to like confront it a little bit and like actually take that confrontation and make some change with it. So that feels different to me. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Like, what are you hearing me
Hmm.
say?
Okay. So you're saying you want them to face it.
Yes, I
How
want
would
them to.
you recommend this person do that?
Yes. So one of the ways I would do that is to practice some radical acceptance. And that is a term from dialectical behavioral therapy. And I'm just going to like from verywellmind.com tell you a little bit about what radical acceptance is. It's the practice of fully acknowledging and embracing difficult situations and emotions without trying to change or control them. And it helps reduce suffering by allowing individuals to accept reality as it is rather than resisting it. And so that's really like with all this confrontation, like that's really like the angle I'd be taking of like you need to confront this. Like you're kind of already in it, but you're not calling it for what it is all the way. In some ways you are, in other ways you're not. And so like let's just like really practice acceptance for like what this person did to you and the pain that that caused, and then how you have chosen to remain in it in a very active way.
Hmm.
Um, so my recommendation would be to feel your way through your grief. Emotions, when unprocessed, cause problems. And processing emotions means allowing your body to physically express the sensations that come. It involves, it could involve talking, creating art, doing some sort of ritual or remembrance. It's essentially just getting what's been inside your body out of your body. It's making it unstuck, as it were. And so, this idea that, like, you know, um, I cause no harm, and I'm like, I don't know that you're seeing yourself, because somebody who is not able to engage with reality is harming themselves. Like you're harming your future, you're harming your opportunities. So like there would just be that radical acceptance of like this is what happened to me and this is how I've responded to it. Let's confront that. I don't need you necessarily to get over it, but I do need to accept it. And I don't hear that there's a choice here to accept. Um,
Okay.
and so kind of what I would again say is there's a lot of emotional paralysis in this song.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, I would just really help this person kind of like begin navigating some of that emotional paralysis. So those are my recommendations. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Anything else? I think I kind of cut you off. Was there anything else you wanted to challenge?
No, no, that was it. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Okay, yeah. Great thoughts. I love that. Yeah, anything you would encourage this person with?
A little bit of a cheekiness here, but I would say, can we try a different restaurant? Like totally unserious, but also like literally serious. Like, let's just go to a different restaurant. That would be great. Like
Uh-huh.
in a very like silly way, I like wouldn't be surprised if I was doing telehealth therapy like with this client from the restaurant. Like, like they join the call and be like, "Where are you right now?" I'm in the restaurant. Like, okay. How about next time you join our telehealth visit, you're in a different restaurant?
You're somewhere else. Anywhere else will do.
Literally anywhere else will be fine.
Aw, yeah, I
That's all
love
I
that.
got.
Oh,
Just
that's all.
that's all. Yep.
Oh my goodness, too funny.
Spicy Katie. So
Yep, I love it. I'm here for all the spice.
I am very eager to switch over to you, Ashley, and hear what lyrics you're highlighting from the song and what questions you're asking
Okay, so yes, very different perspective, I think,
it.
although
Can't
there's a
wait.
place for both. Um, yeah, so I focused more on like, so I think from what I understood from what you said, it sounded like you interpreted this song as saying like, I don't know how to phrase this. This person is talking in third person, like, get over it, like, she's in delusion, all of these things. I heard that and thought people were saying that.
Oh, wow. Okay, that is 1000% a different perspective. Okay, let's dig into it. I am here for it. I totally did not hear that.
Which again is why I love doing this with you. Once again, Ashley took it literally.
I love this so much. Keep going.
So the lyrics that I'm going to be focusing on are cross-legged in the dim light. They say, what a sad sight. Everybody moved on. I stayed there. Breakups happen every day. You don't have to lose it. They say, what a sad sight. So I had some questions. What about this person meant so much to you? Which I think might be similar to Katie saying, "Let me see the picture," right?
Yeah,
In a less sassy way. What was it about this person?
yours is so much more professional.
Um, but I mean, maybe it was like physical, like attractiveness. Maybe it was something that like you maybe felt seen for the first time, or who knows what it was. And then what would it be like if someone came and sat with you at the table or listened
Oh,
without judgment?
oh, wow. If you want a warm hug in therapy, come to Ashley. She is here to give you a warm therapeutic hug. Sit at the restaurant with you? Ashley, that is top tier.
Well, thanks.
Top tier.
Um, and then validation wise, I had it's okay that this affected you and being stuck shows how much it meant to you. And then people's judgment can be harsh and it's hard to feel misunderstood.
Yeah, yeah. That is so, so true. So true.
Yeah.
And I think that really highlights the way that you read the song as like that those that not a mentalization, but like criticism from other people. Like you're being talked about in that way, which I mean is a completely valid way. And I can even see like, they said like there's even an indication that maybe it's not even coming from the person. Like they're not internalizing this judgment, but it's being put on them. So yeah, I love that.
Which goes back to what you brought up about grief, right? I think people so often hear like, okay, it's been this long, like, what are you doing? Right? Um, but yeah, it's you have to go through the process. And I do think that this person is stuck. I don't think that this person is really going through the process. I think they just don't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, but I want to validate the stuckness because that can be hard too. Um, Challenge wise, I said, when you feel ready, acknowledge the time you've spent in this moment and the things you've missed in the meantime. There may be some grief in like having all of these pieces of life, like moving on, and like you might have missed out on some things, right? Like maybe you were sitting at the restaurant, again, literally, probably not literally, but like emotionally at the restaurant, when there were big celebrations happening. I kind of think of the movie P.S. I Love You, which is one of my all-time favorite movies. Have you seen it?
Oh, years ago, I don't really remember it too well.
Okay, so it's about this woman who loses her husband and her processing her grief, and she kind of like isolates and puts herself in this apartment and she like there's this scene in the movie where she's getting these voicemails from her friends like, "Hey, I got engaged. Like, I'd love for you to be my maid of honor and this and this and this and this and this are happening." And then she just is like so stuck in like this grief that she doesn't return their calls and then eventually they like open the door to her apartment and she's like in her husband's shirt like having a um solo concert. She's like singing in the apartment this like super sad song, which is such a vibe.
Such a vibe.
So that's kind of how I'm like picturing this song. Like everything is happening outside and you just can't even like focus or like engage with that. Whereas like if she wasn't in this grief, she would be so excited to be this person's maid of honor, right? Or like be engaged with all of these things that are
Oh yeah.
happening.
Well,
Yeah.
so good. So good. Yeah. And that's like the hidden cost of grief, right? That we don't always talk about is like how there's a part of you that maybe really wants to be able to be there for other people in their celebration or their big life events or their hard times, but you just don't have that bandwidth. And like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, to recognize like that's a grief for the person going through the grief, right? Potentially.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
That's a great point. Yeah. Um, are there any other things that you would validate or normalize?
No, I don't think so.
Any recommendations?
Yeah, I said do something to honor that moment or acknowledge how it impacted you. Feel what comes up and allow it to take space. Because I kind of wonder if there is some like something is stuck, right? Like whether it's acceptance, like you were saying, or there's an emotion stuck, or like there's just something that's like not processing the way that it should be. And so, like, really digging deep and saying, like, okay, this is how this affected me. Like,
Yeah.
some people write like impact statements, like, this is every way that this like affected me or like really, really changed me. So taking time to like say it instead of just like sitting there like almost in shock, like I still can't believe that this happened.
That is such a great tangible example of how to process your emotions, right? Like, kind of like what I was saying, like what is inside your body has to get out of your body. And like the impact statement is like, I'm going to take a full, unfiltered look at the toll this took on me, which is
Mhm.
sometimes like we don't want to do it. We don't want to count the cost because it
Mhm.
feels far too painful to actually say, like, this is what that cost me, but that is part of what you are carrying, whether you put words to it or not.
Mhm.
And an impact statement is very powerful. I love that example. It's a great tool, and it's one that you could do in or out of therapy. Like, you don't necessarily have to do that with a therapist
Mhm.
unless you want to. But yeah, love that suggestion.
Mhm. Yeah. Um, and then finally, to encourage this person, I would say you don't have to be at that table forever, but you can be there as long as you need to.
Mm, yeah, that's good. That's really good. I love that. Wow, we could not have had more different takes.
No.
Could not have had more.
I feel like mine was like downer. Like,
I just, I think it's so I love the differences that we have because um I have worked in situations where I've been working with a person and either them or somebody they were close to was straight up denying reality. Like just saying like, no, that never happened. No, I don't believe like, and it was just like a my friend, we need to face like it was like a kick in the pants kind of a conversation where it was like, nope, we are not going to deny this. We are going to call this for what it is. And so there's so much diversity in how this could be experienced. And honestly, maybe there are people who kind of need that kick in the pants, and maybe somebody just needs like a hug and a validation that you can stay there as long as you need. I think they're both very valid responses, and depending on the person in the situation, could be very helpful or unhelpful, depending, I
yeah.
think, on what. Maybe you needed a hug and somebody was there to kick you in your pants. Not a great feeling.
Yeah, but also like I think there is something to be said for like sometimes people do just like prefer to be stuck, right? Like
Yeah,
there's just this like thing where it's like, okay, like I'm worried about whatever happens after this, so I'm just gonna sit here. And some people do need that kick in the pants where it's like, yeah, no, it's time. The time has
yeah,
passed.
yeah. Like you've been in it, and then there's something to say about like, have you been processing or have you been paralyzed? Because they're not the same
Right.
thing. And just because time has passed, like you could have been paralyzed in something for a very long time and actually getting around to processing it, being like, oh, I should be past it at this point. It's like, well, no, you just pressed pause for a long time. That doesn't mean you like worked through the emotions or what you needed to, the details of the situation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I
Yeah.
think this is probably one of my top three podcasts we've done.
I love that. It's definitely up there for me, for sure.
It was
Because
so fun.
I think the perspective of like other people calling out those judgments was just so fun and so different from the way that I saw that. And I totally see the they language, so like it's absolutely there. But then like the way that I read it was just like this person has internalized all of that. And just like again, sometimes I'm sitting with clients or even with myself and I'm like, wow, like I'm just rehearsing all of these internalized beliefs about how I should be over something or it's been too long or like I can't look at so this whole like I take him back and I was just like, what? Not at that line. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. It's Christmas,
Yeah.
babe. It's been a minute. Like if you're talking about children and Christmas, like this did not happen last week.
So true. That's such a good point. That's such a good point. Yeah. Which again, like, what is it about this that is so, like, you still feel so connected? Like, are you missing out on something in your life outside of romantic relationships? Or, like, what emotional need was this meeting? Because that must have been really deep.
Yeah, 100%. I love that you're highlighting this because what you're talking about is like the deeper need. And like everything about the song is just like observations, right? Like, oh, this, that. It's all very lighthearted, like matches burning, pages sticking together. Like they're all very light or not heavy things. And then when you talk about like this deeper need, that's what actually needs to get validated.
Hmm.
That's what's actually getting missed. And that's part of actually maybe why you're in paralysis.
Yeah, right. Because if that's not going to meet that need, then what is? And if I
Yeah.
still have the hope that this could come back, then I don't need to find what else could.
Fire right there. Mic drop. We could end the we could end the whole podcast right there. Yes. And that's really speaking to autonomy, right? Like
Hmm.
so often, and I'm this may or may not be true about the client song, but like we want somebody else to do that validating work. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't receive validation from other people. Like that's a big part of what therapy is you are receiving that external validation. And at the same time, you have to sign off on your own validation.
Hmm. Hmm.
You have to see it.
Yeah,
You can't just wait for others to give it because even if other people give it, that may not be enough.
right, right. Oh, it's so good.
Such a good song. So fun. So glad I ended up choosing this song, even though I was grumpy about it. I
Too.
wasn't grumpy. I wasn't grumpy. I was conflicted. I had feelings. Ashley knows. She'll post like our
You
text
did.
messages of like, I'm so conflicted over this. But
Maybe I will.
what a fun adventure.
That was great. Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, thanks for being on this ride with us. Um,
We enjoyed this so much. We're your hosts, Katie and Ashley, and thanks for joining us. Jeremy, thank you for editing. And to all of our listeners, if you'd like to leave a comment, email us at therapypodcast@gmail.com, or if you want to request a song, maybe you have thoughts and sass that you want to share because we love to hear your sass. And we'll look forward to seeing you at our next episode.
bye.